So thanks for having me. I saw the screening yesterday, and I right away had one question when the first scene started. It starts like Guardians of the Galaxy like, and I thought, is this going to be more often in a movie that you feel as if the characters who are dusted are in the movie? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think the presence of that is hanging over.
Certainly.
The
We want to be
characters,
careful
for
not
sure,
to talk
yeah.
about the movie,
Yeah.
but so we probably don't want to talk about the footage yet, but I think, yeah, you can say that what happened at the end of the last movie haunts the characters in this film, no question.
Okay, so after Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Infinity War, it's your fourth movie, and the superhero I connect with you is Captain America. So is this a good conclusion for a story from your point of view?
We don't want to talk about conclusions either,
Right.
but what we'll say is that...
Other than overall, the movie is
Right.
certainly
they're tied
thought of
together.
like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
Winter Soldier through Endgame, the films are tied together. There's an overarching narrative there, and there's thematics that are overarching as well.
So do you feel as if you're finished with the MCU and the stories you wanted to tell, or is there any more movies you
For
want?
now, I think
now
we should take a break until we find a new story to tell. But for now, we're going to take a little break.
I mean, that was one of the great creative upsides of this movie. Is for the first time in our experience with the MCU, we were not thinking about the future at all. We were only thinking about the road that we've all traveled since that first Iron Man movie. So we were only thinking about those 21 movies that have preceded this film, and sort of bringing a very satisfying conclusion to that run, and not thinking about where the story goes after this.
How difficult was it to do this movie? Because I have the feeling if they just undo what's going to happen, Infinity War is like a great movie, but somehow it's not going to feel right. Was it difficult to come up with this end game so Infinity War still feels really necessary?
I mean, we came up with...
We have a hard commitment to the stakes of storytelling, for sure. I mean, that's not a... You know, I think you've seen that in our entire run through the MCU, is that we you know, for instance, in Civil War, when the Avengers... That Tony Stark and Steve Rogers, their relationship gets destroyed in that movie. And that's a storyline that we pull forward into Infinity War, and the Avengers get split up based upon that fight. And so in Infinity War, the Avengers are divided, and they remain divided throughout the entire film. I mean, that's partially why they lose to Thanos, is because they are not a unified force any longer because of what happened in Civil War. So yeah, the commitment to stakes and choices, that is definitely something we pull forward, and you'll definitely see that in Infinity War. Excuse me, Endgame. Yeah.
You're probably not going to tell me who's got the most screen time after Thanos in Infinity War and Endgame, right?
No, we can't.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been protecting the plot of this movie for 3 years now, so we're going to be very careful, especially leading up to the release of the film, that we don't disclose anything.
All right, I understand. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.